My brother's prank almost landed me in prison. My 9-year-old brother thought it would be funny to get me into trouble, but he never expected things to turn for the worse. My family and I were driving back home from a trip down to Florida, which was basically a 14-hour drive. I was sunburned and exhausted after walking around Disney all day with my family, but somehow my brother was still energetic. But once we hit the road, I was knocked out in the backseat. Unlike other people, when I fall asleep, nothing can wake me. I woke up right around the time that we were a few minutes away from home. My parents parked the car and checked the rear view to see if we were awake. They got out of the car and a sudden swarm of officers walked out from the shadows, yelling at my parents to put their hands up and face the car. They approached and patted them down, while my brother and I stayed in the car, yelling out for our parents. The officers asked them if Tracy was in the car, and they asked why they needed to see me. They opened the door and asked me and my brother to step out to identify ourselves. My brother started crying from panic. They pulled me to the side and asked me to confirm my identity. Afterwards, they brought me alongside my family and asked me why I called 911 earlier and told them I was being held hostage in a moving vehicle. I stared at them, completely confused by their question. I explained that I never called them, that it was impossible because I was asleep the entire time on the way back home. They asked for my phone, so I turned it on and unlocked it, handing it over so that they could check the call and text log. They showed me the calls to 911 and the missed no caller ID calls that were made by the police to try to contact me. They pulled up the messages I had apparently sent while I was asleep. My hands started shaking, finding the entire thing impossible. Out of shock, I stopped answering their questions, leaving them no choice but to handcuff me. While they were loading me up into the back of the cop car, my mom blurted out that we had a camera inside the car that would show that I was asleep the entire time. The police asked me to wait in the vehicle while they reviewed the footage. There, they saw that my younger brother had taken my phone while I was asleep and used it for a couple of hours until it died. They noticed that he was on the phone twice, which was around the time that 911 received calls and messages. They turned their attention to my younger brother, asking him why he contacted the police for a kidnapping. He immediately screamed out that it was just a prank, how he heard about it from the older kids at school. He apologized over and over. One of the officers reached out to apprehend him, but he ran off towards the back of our yard, crying and begging them not to hurt him. After a couple of minutes, the cops that chased after him came back to the cop car and swapped us out. My brother sat in the car kicking and screaming that he was just a kid and to take me instead. They apologized to me and escorted me back to my parents. Out of worry, my mom asked if she could come along and sit with my brother all the way to the precinct. They apologized and said that it wasn't allowed. However, she was free to follow them there. They also explained to the parents how they still had to take him in because the call utilized a lot of police resources and was a serious offense. At the end of the entire situation, my brother ended up getting a misdemeanor and was forced to go into juvenile detention for a few months.